Hey everybody, welcome to day 22 of this 30 Days of Mindfulness series. And today I'm going to talk about virtue and the role that virtue can play in a meditation practice. So I've kind of hinted at this already, but virtue in terms of mindfulness and in meditation refers to non-harm, both in actions and in thoughts. And this is important because the content of our thinking mind and our daily actions in our lives are intertwined, and they make up the reality of our lived experience, right? The collection of the wide array of thoughts that I have about myself and my place in the world plays a major role in obviously how we actually feel as we move through our lives. And now a major hindrance in meditation practice is often this harsh or negative view of oneself. This is something that's really, really common, especially in a lot of Western countries like the United States, which tend to be very driven and competitive. This is kind of almost indoctrinated from a young age that it's like I'm always somehow one step behind of every so many things that are happening around me, and I need to keep up, or I'm not being enough in my relationships or my job or whatever it is. So as a lot of Westerners began to travel to Buddhist countries and in Asia and Southeast Asia and start to report this to meditation teachers within these Buddhist traditions, they would say that, yeah, this is just continually what's happening in my mind, this negative self-view and negative self-talk. And often what was encouraged was to actually reflect on some of your virtuous behavior as a means to be an antidote to that negative mindset. Right? It's like we're thinking thoughts anyways about ourselves and who we are. Maybe it's okay to also reflect on some of the good things. This is almost like having gratitude towards oneself for some of the good things that we've actually done in our lives. You know, maybe the conversation that we had with someone that we really showed up for and actually really listened to this person. You know, I mean, this might sound like a corny thing to actually be grateful to ourselves for actions like this. But what it can do is actually give a more balanced view to ourselves, especially to those of us who may tend more towards a negative mindset or a harsh mindset and view about who we are. So this is something that can actually be done intentionally in a meditation practice. It doesn't have to be going off into in-depth stories about things we've done, but just a real simple reflection. So we'll sit for about, a little under 10 minutes as usual. And then I'll just share a little bit more at the end here. So wherever you're sitting right now, just beginning to settle into this upright and balanced posture. And to begin just setting down some of the normal preoccupations which the mind might have, and allowing the eyes to close if that feels comfortable. Or you can just rest your gaze softly in front of you. So releasing the mind from the grip of thoughts and settling into embodied awareness. just your direct experience of being in this body, which is breathing. Allowing some of the normal day-to-day views which we may be carrying about ourselves and others to just kind of fall to the background of our experience, and softening into the body and the breath. Releasing the muscles of the face and the jaw. Even allowing the eyes to soften. Even softening the muscles of the brain. And settling down into the back and the torso. And allowing each out-breath to soften the muscles of the chest and the stomach. All the way down to the base of the spine. And the contact points with the chair or the cushion. And softening down into the legs. This lower half of the body, which we sometimes don't even notice is there. Softening and widening the awareness to encompass the whole body breathing. Each breath which comes into the lungs fuels and feeds the entire body. So just feeling this flow of oxygen as it permeates through the bloodstream and the flesh. Just having some appreciation for this basic gift of life which the breath brings. thinking mind will happen. And we can just notice it when it's happening. Every time we notice and return to the body and the breath, it's a moment of mindfulness. And now, just bringing to mind some simple act from your life, whether it's in recent weeks or years, something positive which you've done for someone else in your life. Just bringing this simple action to mind and allowing yourself to recognize the positive and beneficial quality and the impact which it had for yourself, for another, getting a more holistic view of the person that you are. Just as much as we may be negative to ourselves and make mistakes, human beings are also capable of doing beautiful things. And it's okay and it's worthwhile to appreciate this side of yourself. And in this last minute or so of meditation, just allowing the reflections to fall to the background and noticing any difference to your felt experience right now. Any amount of space or joy or happiness which can result from this simple type of reflection. So thanks for taking the time to sit and be still and engage with this type of meditation. I know it's a little bit different than a usual meditation practice, which is more observational, but I think it can be a really helpful antidote, as I mentioned, to just simply begin to counterbalance some of the views which we may hold to ourselves, which may be biased in a negative direction and biased in an inaccurate type of way. So I was saying earlier, I think that this is a really, really common aspect. This negative self-view or harsh self-view is a really common, especially in the United States. And it's a result of a competitive society, an extremely individualistic and competitive society. So again, this isn't meant to be, over-congratulatory towards ourselves and how amazing we are or anything like that, but just a quiet, simple recognition that can be done from time to time can be helpful and can be supportive. So hope this has been worthwhile, and looking forward to seeing you next time. Be well.